Hey, Boyd. Yeah, I'm doing another one that doesn't start with A, but... Well, I've got a whole binge of ones coming up. But, like I had mentioned in my last Voyage of the Demeter review, I just did a huge buy from Target and picked up a bunch of DVDs and Blu-rays of movies I really wanted to see. So, I'm actually taking some time to watch some of those. Mostly because I have not actually seen these ones, and a lot of the ones in my A section I have seen before. It's just getting around to watching them again to talk about them. Well, here's one I had not seen before, and I had actually, I'd heard of it, but I hadn't actually looked into anything about it. All I knew is Shyamalan directed it, so that means it's either going to be great, or great, and that Dave Bautista was in it. So, I liked everything I've seen him in, so I wanted to see him in something, get a bit more of a serious role. So, Knock at the Cabin. Based on I don't know if it was a book or a short story, A Cabin at the End of the World. So, this one... Okay, where do I start with this one? Because there's a lot going on, and this one actually, despite Shyamalan's up and down track record, this one is actually, I'm putting it on an up one. This I really did like. Okay, so, we've got two dads who are raising their adoptive daughter, and they're out on vacation at a cabin. When a very large man, played by Bautista, suddenly just walks up and starts talking to the little girl. He seems fairly innocuous at first, and seems actually pretty good with kids, but eventually his conversation gets a little bit concerning when he says that he's here to see her and her father's, and he's gonna they're not gonna want him to come inside, but but he wants her to convince him to do it because it's really important that he comes in, him and his friends. So she gets a little creeped out by him and goes running back to the cabin, warns her fathers, and then 4 people show up and knock at the cabin holding very strange implements that look very much like weapons, demanding to come in to talk because then they have a request to make, and it's a very difficult one, so let us in so we can talk. Now, the couple, of course, thinking, are these people here to do a hate crime, or what's going on? Well, they eventually break their way in, tie up the family, and say, hey, we know we're going to ask a lot of you, but the world's going to end unless one of you sacrifices one of the others. It could be any one of you. We apologize. We know we're asking a lot, and this is very hard to believe, but we've all been receiving visions, and if this doesn't happen, the world will end. Please make the right decision. We can't force you, but please. Naturally, they refuse. So, after a certain point, they indicate that every refusal will have consequences. So when they refuse again, well, they kill one of their own and note that part of humanity has been judged. Turn on the news and, well, a disaster has struck. And it kind of repeats. It's kind of this of they wait a while, ask again, when the no is given, kill one of their own, and then another disaster strikes. Now the dads are trying to figure out, is this real? Is this a trick? Is this something pre-recorded? Did they time this out? How is this happening? Is this real? And it does pretty good in that. I will say, unlike most Shyamalan films, this one doesn't really have a big Shyamalama twist. It is fairly straightforward in what it's doing, but that doesn't make the decisions in it any easier. It kind of makes you think, what would you do in this situation? The cast is very well put together, and I was actually surprised to see Rupert Grint. I hadn't actually seen him in something since his Harry Potter days, and he is unrecognizable. If I did not know it was him, I would not have picked him out. Then everyone who is in this does a great job, so it's very well acted. That is one of the strongest points for this one. They definitely sell it, and Dave Bautista doing this whole... He seems to be talking awkwardly and you're wondering if it's like a Shyamalan kind of thing, but it's actually because he's actually like a second-grade teacher and just knows how to talk to kids and doesn't really like to discuss such violent things and is trying to just be very patient, and he's doing a very good job at it. Every one of them who's there, you can tell that they're all freaked out just as much by what they're doing as the people that they're doing it to. So, yeah, this one does actually work pretty well for me. It's not, like, my favorite Shyamalan movie, but it definitely has a lot more of a punch to it than a lot of his other ones, so definitely I do actually recommend Knock at the Cabin. It's... The more blind you go into it, I think the better it works out being, so I'm not going to really say any more on that, but other than that, it is a bit slow moving, so you have to kind of be in the right mood for it. If you're expecting something faster paced, it will be a little bit disappointing. But it is only an hour 40 minutes, so it isn't like a long sit. It does what it needs to do. It doesn't overstay its welcome. Yeah, I'll give it a 7 MacGuffins. 7 sounds about right for Knock at the Cabin. Alright, so if you haven't seen it, check it out. Shyamalan's been kind of on a higher kick lately, so yeah, I do like this one. Alrighty, Void. Take care.